My girlfriend was sharing all our intimate details with her friends and they laughed at me, so I dumped her. Now she can't afford rent on her own, and her friends are begging me to come back. 4 years ago, I never could have imagined that something as simple as moving in with my girlfriend would unravel so drastically. It was supposed to be a milestone in our relationship, a chance to build something solid together. I'm 25 and she was 24 when we decided to take the plunge. We found a place that she loved, and although the lease was in her name, I was happy to contribute financially since she was struggling a bit. I paid half the deposit and the first month's rent, covering the bills for that initial month. It was a team effort in my mind. I felt invested in the relationship, even though I was skeptical about her decisions on how to furnish the place. She had this particular style, but to me it felt like a bit of an overspend. I would have rather saved that money for something more practical, but I didn't press it. This was her home too. But over time things began to shift. It wasn't just about the furniture or finances anymore. It was the little things that started piling up. The way she seemed to treat me less like an equal partner and more like someone who was there to support her whims. We didn't argue much about it, but I'd feel these subtle moments where my voice didn't quite matter. Then came that night. It started out like any other evening, me coming home from work. I was running a little earlier than usual, just wanting to get a head start on relaxing. When I walked through the door, I didn't expect what I saw. Her friends, some of them a little tipsy, were sprawled out on the couch eating takeout. It seemed harmless enough and I didn't think much of it at first. I went to the bathroom to shower, figuring I'd just join them after. But when I came out, everything felt off. The air was different. Her friends, her sister too, were quoting love poetry from letters I had written her. I was caught off guard. These were deeply personal things that I never thought would be shared outside the privacy of our relationship. I asked her where they had gotten that from, and she casually told me that they had read my letters before watching a movie. She laughed with them as though it were a harmless joke. But something inside me snapped. I stood there, bewildered, as her sister made a comment that crossed a line. She said she wanted to feel the way I made her sister feel, that she had never experienced anything like that before. I wasn't sure what was worse, the fact that it was said or the fact that it seemed to go unnoticed by anyone except me. Her sister and friends were laughing, joking, touching me in ways that made my skin crawl. I had to leave. I couldn't process it all in that moment, so I quickly grabbed some of my things and left for my mother's house. It was the only place I could think of to escape. The next day she tried to reach me, 17 calls, a dozen texts asking why I wasn't home. She seemed confused. I wasn't. I knew exactly why I was angry. But I didn't want to engage over text or on the phone. I needed space. By Wednesday I finally saw her in person. I told her how hurt I was. I told her that my intimate letters were never meant to be shared. That what happened felt like a violation and not just of my privacy, but of the respect I thought we had for each other. Her response left me speechless. She laughed it off, saying that it was a joke and nobody was really hurt. She justified her actions by claiming that her friends were impressed with me and that she was proud to share our personal life with them. It was as if my feelings didn't matter at all. I told her that I couldn't be with someone who didn't respect me. And just like that, I ended things. She showed up at my mom's house later, pleading for me to come back. She wanted to talk it out, to fix things. I told her no. The more she begged, the more I knew I had made the right decision. She wouldn't leave, so I left, driving to my dad's place. It felt like I had no other option but to cut myself off from the chaos she was dragging me into. The texts didn't stop. She kept sending them, calling me selfish, demanding I come back. Her friends and sister joined in, telling me I was playing games and needed to stop overreacting. They all wanted me to come back and be the person I used to be. But it was clear to me now, my presence, my dignity had become a joke to them. I didn't owe them anything. I didn't move most of my belongings into her place, which, in hindsight, was probably the best decision I had made in a long time. I blocked her on everything. She kept pushing, though, using a mutual male friend to try and convince me to talk to her. I blocked him too, and then his girlfriend texted me, asking me not to make things worse. They all thought I was overreacting, that I should just let things go. But I knew deep down that I couldn't. This wasn't just about a few love letters. It was about respect. It was about boundaries being crossed and her not even realizing it. So I let go. I stopped responding. A few days later I gathered my things. My brother came with me, and while my ex was away visiting her parents, I took the opportunity to collect what was mine. I gave the key to my brother to pass along to her. He told her there was no way I was coming back, not after the TikTok post she made. She had gone into detail about my letters, spilling intimate moments we had shared. In one video, she even mentioned my sister by name and talked about some private moments we had that were never meant to see the light of day. That TikTok post had opened up a whole new set of problems. My sister found out, and it triggered some past trauma she had kept buried. She confronted me about it, and even though I wasn't the one who posted it, I understood why she was upset. It wasn't right for anyone to share something so private, but in a strange way that was the final nail in the coffin. It wasn't just a matter of feeling betrayed by my ex anymore, it was about protecting my family from her recklessness. In the days that followed, my ex tried to regain control. She posted more TikToks, tried to justify herself, and demanded that I return the letters. But I had already burned them. It wasn't just a symbolic act, it was my way of reclaiming the parts of myself she had taken and shared without my consent. Her sister, in a last-ditch effort to get me to help with the rent, came to my mother's house, telling me that if I hadn't agreed to pay rent in the first place, she wouldn't have overspent on setting up the apartment the way she wanted. She tried to blame me for everything, claiming that if I hadn't been so generous, none of this would have happened. By now I was done. I wasn't going back. I had already cut off contact with her and everyone involved. She even went so far as to contact the landlord, trying to work out a deal to break the lease without penalties, but he rejected her request. The last straw came when she tried to reach me through my brother again. She begged for forgiveness, but I knew I couldn't go back. Her double standards were glaring. She couldn't see why what she had done was so hurtful, yet she couldn't even fathom me sharing her intimate photos with my friends, even though she had no problem doing it with her own. In the end, I got a new number, blocked all of them, and began the process of rebuilding my life. I wouldn't make the same mistake again. I learned that respect, trust, and personal boundaries are not things to be compromised. And no amount of pleading, no TikTok post, no apology could change that. I appreciate the advice from my friends, family, and even strangers who gave me a reality check. Moving forward, I knew I would make better decisions, ones that aligned with my self-respect. I wasn't going to let anyone ever make me feel less than I am again.